Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the college basketball slate on March 11th. We got a nice little, was a 10-game slate, but now it's a 9-game slate because Duke and Florida State literally just got canceled. So yeah, that's what we're going through now. Let's just ignore those players. I'll talk about that in a second. Unfortunate because I really like some of these players on this game today, but you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna just have to move on with it. If you're new here, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to that channel. It really helps me grow. Turn that notification bell so you can know when I am going live, because I will be starting to do live streams for the NCAA tournament slates. Not going to be doing them for the conference tournament slates because I just will not be here tonight. Will not be here tomorrow night to do those. So there's just no point in me doing those. Sunday won't be here. I mean, and Saturday I got to do NASCAR live streams. So I'm not going to be able to do them. But, you know, for the NCAA tournament slates, I will be doing live streams before lock for those. So be sure to turn on that notification bell as well. If you want to get more of my content, you can always subscribe to my Patreon. I'll put the link down below. It's $5. It's $5 for the rest of the year, rest of the season. You're going to get, you're going to get this spreadsheet you see right here with projections for every single slate. So that's going to be really nice for you. And then, look, this video is for the late slate today. I don't have time for the early slate because, it's 11 o'clock in the morning and that slate starts in 30 minutes. However, I still make projections for that slate. I still do the spreadsheet for that slate. I just don't have time to record the video because I got so many other things going on with NASCAR, with school, with work, with everything. So, so we're not that video won't be out, but projections will be out. So tomorrow morning, Friday morning, it's one of the biggest days in college basketball. Same thing with Saturday, and you are not able. Well, actually, Saturday I will be doing a video for the early slate, but tomorrow when you're sitting there and you're like, shoot, I don't have a video for this slate today. Well, you can go use my projections and my spreadsheet to find all the best plays, and you can have a good day of college basketball. I mean, I had a good day on the early slate yesterday playing those Syracuse guys. They really helped me out. So you would have known that. So, yep, that's really all I got on that. So let's get into the plays. First, we got to talk about Duke and Florida State because, that was going to be the first game I was going to talk about. Like, now it's not even happening. Like, Duke's out of the tournament. Oh, boo-hoo. That's a shame. Oh, man, Duke is not going to make the tournament. The whole world is bad. No, great. Duke's out. We're not. That's it. That's all I want to say about them. I don't like Duke. I'm a Carolina fan, so screw them. Who cares? Carolina, Virginia Tech. This game has an implied total of 140. When you go look at the pace this game, it's going to be basically an average pace, like literally like a .25 below average pace game today. However, Carolina is going into a pace down spot. That's not going to look great for them. Virginia Tech is going into a pace up spot. Now, there is one thing to note. Garrison Brooks' questionable. He did not play yesterday against Notre Dame, which Daron Sharp got to start. If that were to happen again, I think Sharp's kind of interesting, but I mean, I'm not all that interested there. I mean, he's expensive now, and just, I mean, if you want to play him, that's fine. But Leaky Black's gonna be the guy I wanted to key in on from Carolina. $4,700. I gave him 32 minutes today. He's a .69 point per minute player. He just looks like a nice little value. He's going to play a lot of minutes at $4,700. I don't expect him to have this drop a 40-point game out of nowhere, but he should still have a solid outing here. So Leaky Black's going to be kind of interesting. Virginia Tech, on the Virginia Tech side, Naheem Aline and Tyrese Radford are going to be the two guys I'm interested here. Naheem Aline's $4,900. He's 34. I gave him 34 minutes, a .63 point per minute. If usage rate 21.1 and assist rate 12, that's going to look pretty solid. And then Tyrese Radford's $5,700. I gave him 36 minutes, .7 point per minute, usage rate 17.1, assist rate 13.8, rebound rate of 11.8. Kind of does a little bit of everything. No, I do not want to do that. Cancel. Tyrese Radford at $5,700 is going to be someone that I am definitely kind of interested in today. I'm going to get some exposure to him. I like him more than Aline, but both look good. Both look like solid values. The next game we're going to talk about is Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Big game here for Ole Miss as they're trying to keep their tournament hopes alive. Like, people underrate Ole Miss, man. Like, they have more quad one wins than some of these like ACC schools and some of these Pac-12 schools like that are supposed to already be locked into the tournament. But like, no, Ole Miss has actually had a better year, but no one wants to talk about it. SEC continues to be underrated and continues to be underappreciated by college basketball fans. Just saying. Ole Miss should be in the tournament. Now, okay, if they lose to State, no, they shouldn't. But if they win this game, I think they should be in the tournament, even if they lose to LSU the next one. So that's my tangent. We're not going to talk. We're going to talk about DFS only. We're not going to talk about college basketball. I say that in the next game when we talk about Missouri and Georgia. TJ Moss, $4,100. Gave him 31 minutes. He's a .6 point per minute. This is the South Carolina players, by the way. Usage rate 16.2, assist rate 21.3. And now I'm remembering that I did not go over the total on this slate or on this game. It has a total of 140.5. It's going to has a pace of 73.55. It's going to be a pace up, or one of the faster paced games on the slate. That's going to be nice. Usually the SEC games are faster paced. It's going to be a pace down spot for South Carolina, but a huge pace up spot for Ole Miss here. But Moss and Trey Hannibal are going to be the two guys I'm interested in. They're both going to play in the 30s and minutes. I would definitely prefer Hannibal. Trey Hannibal actually looks like one of my best values on the entire slate, to be honest. He's a .9 point per minute player. Usage rate 20.3 and assist rate 21.5. But TJ Moss also looks good. 31 minutes, 16.2 usage rate, 21.3 assist rate. Both of them look like good values. I'm going to have some exposure to both of them today. And on the Ole Miss side, we got Romello White and Luis Rodriguez. Romello White is 6K here. I gave him 34 minutes. He's a .8 point per minute player, usage rate of 18.9 and a rebound rate of 12.3. That's going to look pretty good. And then Luis Rodriguez is $5,400. Gave him 35 minutes here, .9 point per minute player. Does a little bit of everything. Of usage rate of 16.5, assist rate of 14.8, and a rebound rate of 14.2. He's going to look pretty good as well. So Romello White, Luis Rodriguez, definitely going to be interested in those two a good bit. I like this game, and I like especially the Ole Miss side, but I do like these guys look like really good values. So both of these teams have good players. I'm interested. Next game we're going to talk about is Missouri and Georgia. Missouri should win this game. This game has an implied total of 153.5. When you look at the pace, it's going to be the fastest paced game of the day at 75.25. Georgia's going into a pace down spot, but Missouri's going into a pace up spot. And I'll talk about Georgia guys, but I love the Missouri players today on DraftKings. Justin Kears, $5,300. I gave him 34 minutes here. 0.69 point per minute player. Usage rate is 16.9. Assist rate of 13.4. Then PJ Horns, $4,800. Gave him 32 minutes. 0.57 point per minute player for usage rate 12.4. Wouldn't expect too much from him. I'd much rather than PJ Horn. I'd much rather play like Moss or Hannibal, to be honest, or than the guys I'm going to talk about from Missouri. But he's still great odds of value, so I'm going to be kind of interested there. Mitchell Smith, Mark Smith, Jeremiah Tillman, Kobe Brown. What are we doing, DraftKings? What are these salaries? Why are these guys this cheap? Especially the Smiths. Like Mitchell Smith, 28 minutes, $4,500. Mark Smith, $4,800, 32 minutes. Pace up spot. I don't know. These guys, I want to play them. I want to play all these guys. Jeremiah Tillman, the minutes aren't really there, but the point per minute and the usage rate is there. 1 point per minute, usage rate 22.2. The minutes scare me a little bit, but still. Kobe Brown, I didn't mean to put him on here, to be honest. He shouldn't be on here. That's my bad. Don't play Kobe Brown. He's not going to play enough minutes. But especially these Smith brothers, I don't even know if they're brothers, to be honest. But Mitchell Smith and Mark Smith, I have no clue. I could be completely wrong, and they're not even close to being related. But they're both M. Smiths. And on the box, when I go through the box scores after every game and look at all the minutes played, and it says M. Smith, and I'm like, thanks. I have no idea which one it is. So, Mitchell Smith, Mark Smith, both of them look good. I prefer Mark Smith. He's going to play more minutes. He's a starter, so. But both of them look good. And Jeremiah Tillman is interesting as well. Next game we're going to talk about is USC versus Utah. This is a game I'm only interested in one player from each team. I mean, if you want to play Evan Mobley, go for it. It's Evan freaking Mobley. This game has a total of 140. It's going to be a slightly below average pace game on the day. USC is going into a pace down spot. Utah's going into a pace up spot. That's interesting. The two guys I'm interested in are Taj Edey from USC is $5,500. I gave him 37 minutes here. A 0.69 point per minute play. Usage rate 21.2 and an assist rate of 14.9. That's going to be somewhat interesting. And then on the Utah side, I like Pell Larson at $4,800. I gave him 35 minutes. Usage rate of 18 and an assist rate of 19.5. That's going to look pretty solid as well. So, yeah, I mean, both those guys look like solid plays. Wouldn't call them core guys, but they're definitely interesting and do projectiles values. Next game we'll talk about is Rutgers versus Indiana. I'm only going to be interested on the Indiana side here. Rutgers guys do not project out well, at all. They just don't look good at all. But on the Indiana side, we got some interesting players here. This game has an implied total of 141. It's going to be an average pace game on a day. It's not even a pace spot for Indiana. These guys are just a little bit too cheap here. We got AJ Durham, although I believe on DraftKings it says Aljami Durham or something like that. So that guy at $5,000, I gave him 36 minutes. He's a 0.61 point per minute player, but usage rate of 19.1 and an assist rate of 16.8. It's going to look pretty good. Rob Finney's $4,700. I gave him 36 minutes, a 0.58 point per minute player for usage rate of 18.5 and an assist rate of 20.2. Then Jerome Hunter's $4,400. I gave him 33 minutes, 0.5 point per minute player, usage rate of 18.4. All three of these guys are too cheap. They're going to play a ton of minutes. Maybe not the best, per minute producers, but they're going to play a ton of minutes. They're going to look good. I think this 4 or 5K range is kind of stacked today, to be honest. All of them look good, so I'm going to like that. So yeah. Oh wait, is Jerome Hunter on? Okay, thank God. I've thought he was on Wisconsin for a second. Got myself tripped out there. Wisconsin, Penn State, next game we're going to talk about. Only going to be interested on one player from the Penn State side of this game. This game is not a game I'm interested in. 134.5 game total. It's not great. It's going to be a pace up spot for Wisconsin, but a pace down spot for Penn State. But Miles Dread's $3,900. He shouldn't be $3,900. Gave him 33 minutes today. He's a 0.58 point per minute player. Usage rate is 16.5. He's not the greatest per minute player, but he's going to play a ton of minutes, and he's only $3,900, so I'm interested there. Next game we're going to talk about is Kansas, Oklahoma. I know you guys don't see any Texas Tech games on here, which is honestly probably the best game, real basketball game on the slate. But that game has a low total. It's two elite defensive teams playing against each other. There's not a lot of fantasy points to be scored, so I'm not going to be interested there for DFS purposes. But great game. I'm going to watch a game. That's the first game I want to watch today. Well, the later games. I want to watch Oklahoma State and West Virginia in 20 minutes. That's the best game of the day. But That'll be a great game as well. Anyway, Kansas, Oklahoma. Only going to be interested in the Kansas side here. We'll talk about why in a second. This game has only a total of 137.5 points. It's not great, That's not the best total on the slate. It's gonna be an average pace game here. It's a slight pace up spot for Kansas. Nothing to really too worry about. But David McCormick is out, and that's big because he's their starting center, plays in the 30s of minutes every single game. He's one of the best players. He was I believe he was second team All Big 12 or whatever, something like that. He's a great player, and now he's out. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Kansas does to their starting lineup. Do they just keep it big and go Mitch Lightfoot starting at center? Because if they do, he's going to play. I have him for 24 minutes, a .785 at $4,100 is going to look good. However, they could also just say screw it and go Jalen Wilson and play small ball. He's $7,600. I gave him 33 minutes. I think regardless, he's going to get more minutes this game. .95 point per minute player, usage rate 23.2, assist rate 13.4, and rebound rate of 15.6. I think it's a great play. Regardless, even if they they don't start because Jalen Wilson already starts. It's just do they move him down to the center or not and start oh gosh, I forgot the other guy's name that they bring in. It's just whatever. I forgot the guy's name, but he wouldn't be good. He'd be like the super low usage player in the starting line. But whatever. It's if they go Jalen Wilson at center, he's going to play a lot more minutes. He's going to have a higher rebound rate and everything. And at $7,600, I'm going to love that a lot. So if they start Mitch Lightfoot, I would love Mitch Lightfoot. I'm going to love Jalen Wilson regardless, but even more if he starts at center. I think he's one of the best plays on the slate. Then Ochai Agbaji is $5,900. I don't understand his price tag. He is going to play 35 minutes, a .8 point per minute player. Usage rate 20.7. Some would say probably the best player on this team, or at least the best offensive player on this team. So Ochai Agbaji is definitely someone I'm going to be interested in. Then the last game is going to be Yukon versus DePaul. Only going to be interested in the Yukon side because that's a massive pace-up spot. This game has a total of 133.5. Not a high total. Slightly below average pace on the game overall, but it's a huge pace up spot for UConn. So these guys are all going to be a little bit underpriced here. Tyrese Martin's $5,500. I gave him 31 minutes today. He's almost a whole point per minute player. Usage rate 19.3 and a rebound rate of 13.6. At $5,500, it's going to look pretty good. Then Isaiah Whaley is $6,300. I gave him 33 minutes. He's a 1.06 point per minute player. Usage rate is 17.2 and a rebound rate of 12.7. And Adamas Nagu is $5,000, gave him 31 minutes. He's a 1.16 point per minute player. Usage rate 22.6 and a rebound rate of 16.7. I didn't put James Bouknight on here. If you want to play him, that's fine. I don't think you need to. I think this is a day that I don't really want to go as much stars and scrubs. I kind of just want to go more balanced than anything. So, yeah, I mean, any of those top end scrubs, any of those expensive studs, great plays. I didn't really talk about them as much because none of them really stand out to me. They all look good. But yeah, that's really all I got to say. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to get more of my content, always subscribe to the Patreon. Follow me on Twitter at @Natelane_. If you want to watch NASCAR videos, my NASCAR videos are out as well. So be sure to check those out. But that's all I got to say. Have a great rest of your day, and let's make some money.